As a child, when I was 5 to 6 years old, I used to rescue the birds and animals. I started my first rescue at 5 years age. I brought one parakeet at home, fed it, gave some water, treated it, kept it for some days and released it after recovery. It was so excitement that I started feeling wonderful when it was released back to its home. That might be that triggered my passion towards rescue of wild animals particularly, that I started keeping all the injured animals at my home, treating them, releasing them back to wild, and somehow that amazing journey helped me to decide that I should get into veterinary profession. During my graduate school in veterinary medicine, I started working with different species of animals. I started new professional techniques of handling them, treating them, rewilding them. It was so beautiful experience, and what I love about being wildlife veterinarian, and one of the reasons I love my job, is the variety of experiences that life brings to me. I deal more than 40,000 animals so far, of more than 300 species in my 20 years career of veterinary profession. No two animals are similar, no two experiences are similar. I have faced number of challenges, but I loved it and I have faced it positively. I have treated tigers with papilloma on its face. I had performed post-mortem of tiger killed because of road accident. I had calmed down an aggressive elephant attacking people. I have radio tagged vultures. I have treated hundreds, thousands of birds because of wing injury caused due to nylon kite string. I treat anemic owls and eagles, amphibians, deers with horn cancers, langurs with dental injuries, and whatnot. I mean, the count goes on. The life what brings this wildlife brings to me is the art of adaptability. What I have learned from all these species is, if you are going to change yourself, you are going to make some difference. All the wild animals are in some or other way are adaptable, and there in nature, as rule says, survival of the fittest. If the animal is more adaptable, it has more chances of survival and producing next generations and passing its DNA to the next generation. So, when I say adaptability, I come to some of the experiences in my life where I came to know true value of adaptability. I had wonderful experiences from Central Indian landscape, where a story begins in one of the forest area. One of the tigress was found injured by the frontline staff of the forest department. It was having snare injury around its neck. The deep wound was irritating for the animal. The animal was moving constantly. We were monitoring it, we wanted to catch it, we want to treat it. Although in nature, survival of the fittest should rule, but this was a man-made injury, as we came to know, because the snare was still around its neck. So, we decided to treat the animal. However, the animal was not able to monitor. So, we were like chasing the animal constantly. The animal changed its behavior, and it was shying away from the vehicles, it was shying away from the humans. So, we could not reach it, we could not catch it. And as a veterinarian, my guess was like the animal will die within 3 to 4 months if not treated properly. To my surprise, the animal survived more than 8 to 10 months. So, I made inquiry and gathered information from the field staff, and one of the team member informed me that animal was getting close to another territory of another animal, tigress. Tigers are solitary animals, they are territorial, and they do not like interference of any other tiger in their territory, even though its sibling, even though its spouse, or even it's the closest relative of its family. But as usual, there are always exceptions in nature for any rule. So, this tigress, which was already had established another territory, was getting close to territory of her mother, and the mother was licking the wound, mother was cleaning the wound of that baby tiger cub, tigress, and it was so amazing that, I mean, beyond imagination, it's not just the concept of motherhood, but it's something that we think that the tigers were adapting their behavior. The animal survived for a long period, and even after 2 years, it was monitoring in the same area. Another story comes from the urban wildlife. A Hanuman langur baby was rescued, and it was brought to critical care center of our organization, Wild CER. The baby had injury marks on its body, on its neck, on its head. It showed some sort of power to fight the battle of survival. When we reunited the baby with its mother, mother literally pulled out the baby out of the cage. It took it to the tree, and they were having some conversation with each other. That made me so proud of the work I was doing. The work that is inspired by these wild animals, their emotions. You can see the gratitude of that langur baby in its eyes. Even I feel some resilience in one of the species I work with, and that is vulture. During 90s, what happened was, like, a drug treated used for veterinary medicine as a painkiller in cattle was introduced. The name of the drug was diclofenac. The vultures showed dramatic decline, and the number dwindled from 40 millions to merely 40,000 individuals in India. Somehow, with all the stakeholders, with the government agencies, we started vulture conservation initiative, where we could preserve these vultures. And now, in one of the part of central India where we are working, the number has gone up from 35 to 100, 150. So these all animals are adaptable. They are showing some resilience. They show some power to fight the battle of survival. When I say there are, like, tigers and vultures, they are fortunate enough to get some cognizance from the society. But what if we do not protect those animals? Vultures, for example, say, if we do not protect vultures, it's going to affect our health directly. How? Because if there are number of vultures going down in that area particularly, we will see the increase in the feral dog population increase. With increase in feral dog population, we will see the increase in number of cases of rabies, what we have already seen in central India. India, unfortunately, has and hosts 60% of the rabies cases throughout the world. And unfortunately, we are called as rabies capital of the world. So what we are trying to do through One Health is, we are trying to control the dog population, we are trying to provide health services to those animals. Why those services? Why veterinary services? We are all interconnected. The ecosystem has its own software. The health of the ecosystem depends on health of domestic animals, wild animals, and the health of ecosystem. Even if single parameter of this health gets disturbed, we are sure that there will be disturbance in health of the ecosystem. For example, I already told, vultures decline in number, and there is positive cases of rabies, and we have disturbed everything in the ecosystem. Why does it matter to you? Why does it matter to me? And why it should matter to everyone? Can we afford to lose any single species right now? Tigers, leopards, sloth bears, monkeys, we know the importance of every species in our cycle. But if we do not protect those species, we are not going to survive. For example, if I say protect tigers, we are not just protecting tigers. Tigers, where resides more than 300 rivers originates from that forest. So just imagine if there is no water for a month for drinking, we all will die. Every will succumb to all these circumstances. So when I say protect vultures, we are protecting ourselves from rabies. We are protecting ourselves from health concerns. When I say protect tigers, we are not protecting these number of tigers, but we are protecting 7.8 billion people. So let us try, we can make the difference of saving those animals and protecting ourselves from concern. Thank you.